Hello and welcome to another episode of Citadel Guard Adventures. So last time we left Beriathan after finishing helping the people of Archet. We took care of some boars and burying some bodies, and now we are ready to move on to Combe. So if you remember from last episode, John Brackenbrook told us that we should talk with Lisbeth Honeymaid at the Comb and Wattle Inn, since there is a strange fellow looking for us. We also have some crafting quests to advance and the Combe Lumberyard, but I think that's gonna take a little bit longer to get there. In the meantime, we have plenty of trophies to sell, but let's see if there is a task board in Combe so we can start advancing our reputation with the Men of Ray on one hand and our own task deeds as well, so we can increase our daily limit. So I'm not sure if there is a task board in Combe, I don't remember seeing one, but we'll see in just a moment as we get to the town. So here is the gate, and we are pulling all the mobs in between. Right now, however, yeah, they will take care of that. What are we going to do now, Eric? I don't know, I thought you had control of the horse. I did, well, as much control as I can have over a 60 of virtue. Well, we need to get into Combe before winter. We made it all this way, we can't stop at the gate. Yes, just let me gather up this grain. We'll need it for the planting season. Alright. So, I don't remember having seen that conversation before. And here we are, in Combe, at last. And as you see, plenty of quests for us to do. We'll try to be a little bit selective with some of those so we can speed up our progress through Brilliant. We have the stable unlocked. Let's see what we can pick here.
Could I speak with you a moment?
I'm sorry, my mind is miles away. I didn't see you there. Did you help fight off the brigands? My dad did. Gale chucks back us up. During the Blackwolds raid on Archet, someone broke into our house and stole many of our things. I don't care about most of them, but they took my dad's favorite fishing pole. I don't care if I get anything else back, but he wouldn't have wanted some filthy brigand to have it. Now that I have moved here to Combe, I've been meaning to ask Constable Wren if she could track down the fishing pole for me. Could you ask her if she has any idea where it might have been taken? She'll be at the guardhouse on the hill east of Combe. So I think we can do this one. Let's bind our milestone to Combe instead of Archet. We won't need to get back to Archet no more. Yeah, it seems there's no task board in here, so let's vendor all we have. Let's equip Bjornet's guard that we took from previous episode and equip it. And now, what we have in here, I think we can sell everything except the light hides, as I'm not sure what's the profession gonna be for Beriathan yet. I'm thinking about it, so we'll sell this one, this one, this one, this one here and here. This helm we don't need it no more. This one, the rations maybe, and all these trophies, the hides can stay. Even if we don't get a related crafting profession, we can get more gold if we sell it through the auction house. Now, here.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Pardon me, do you think I could take up some of your time? I haven't had any word of Miss Combe since this brigand nonsense began, and I'm mighty scared that he got caught up in some trouble. We lived in Archet till recently, but we had an argument. I'm sure you know how boys are. And Combe left all in a huff. He said he would make his own way down in Combe, and that's the last I heard of him. Now that I come to Combe, I heard he's gone east. If you don't mind, could you talk to Constable Wren for me? She watches the road east out of Combe, and maybe she's in Cobble Pass. Right. I think this is the Comb and Wattle Inn. Some guy's doing some music. Okay, so here's the Combe and Wattle Inn to continue with the epic story. Let's talk with Liz Honeymaid.
Hello there.
Oh my, look here, our real-life hero. It's not often we get such respectable folk through here. My, how my tongue runs out. Thoradan told me to send you upstairs to his room as soon as you arrived. The stairs are across the room there, and Thoradan's is the door at the end of the hall. He said you shouldn't delay none. So yeah, the stairs should be here. And here is Thoradan's room. Here he is.
Greetings.
The hero of Archet, I suppose? I am pleased to finally meet you. I am sorry for the cryptic summons, but I dared not betray my whereabouts to just anyone. There is much we need to discuss. Will you hear me? Alright.
Might I take a moment?
Level 9 and 1 trade point. Perfect. Thank you for your aid, Beriathan. My kindred and I were driven from the bounds of the Shire by the Nazgul of Mordor. They pursued us eastward and slew many of us. It was my goal to join Amdir, but I have heard rumor of his fate in Archet. They say he was stabbed with a Morgul knife and led off by some evil men, the ones who lent the Blackwolds aid. There are few left now with power over such wounds, and those that I know of dwell some distance from here. We must find Amdir, and quickly, if we are to save him. He is likely being held by the Blackwolds somewhere in the Chetwood. We must find a way to enter their lair and free him, but first we must find them. Speak with Constable Underhill. He may be of help. You can usually find him outside, near the Combe and Wattle. Once you have learned of the Blackwolds' lair and believe you can gain entry, return to me. Hurry, before it's too late. Okay, so we continue our quest of finding Amdir. So we'll need to talk with two different constables. Constable Wren and Constable Underhill. Constable Underhill is just outside. Constable Wren, I'm not so sure. So let's get to Underhill first.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Thoradan sent you, did he? It's good to have the hero of Archet on our side. The hobbit lowers his voice. There's still a Blackwold agent in town. We think he's trying to rebuild the band from among the local roughs and bullies. We need proof though. A letter or parchment would do, if it came from the agent himself. Many of the brigands hole up in the Chetwood. Follow the road east until you come to the guardhouse where Constable Grant is stationed. From there, head north and look for the brigands' watchfires scattered throughout the wood. Search their packs for signs of their summons. Let me know right away if you find anything. We need to know what they're up to. So, remember how in last episode I told you I would like to have an in-game explanation as to why Beriathan is gonna get a new outfit, a new horse, and a new wolf, a new pet. Well, most of those will come from there, from the Blackwold hideout. In the jailbreak instance, if you read the quest text, which we did not, it said that our character is trapped in the Chetwood by the Blackwolds. So the way in which I am playing this is Beriathan will go to Blackwold lair in the Chetwood, and there, after defeating the boss of the lair, he would be able to recover all his equipment, and that is his Citadel guard uniform, his horse, and well, I think we can get this right away. The way in which I was planning of kinda role-playing this husky wolf dog is by finding him in the ruins of Archet. Nobody knows where the dog comes from, who is his owner, so we keep the dog for ourselves. Cosmetic Pets. You have summoned a cosmetic pet. This pet will follow you around but will not participate in combat. You may only have one cosmetic pet summoned at a time. It's just that, look at him, it looks so good. The right mix of adorable and fierce, and it's gonna be a great companion. Now, he will have another name, but once again, there is an in-game explanation for that we have not gotten to yet.
Might I take a moment of your time?
After the initial raids, when folk began fleeing for villages like Archet and Citadel, the Blackwolds found they could not longer rely only upon raids to support themselves. They seized Old Bowman's farm and began tilling the soil, though badly and without care for the land. The brigands at the farm must be under the supervision of some Blackwold leader, else they would fall to laziness. If you confront the Blackwolds leader at the farm, you might be able to recover some of the valuables they have stolen. Old Bowman's farm is deep in the Chetwood at the end of the eastward path. I would appreciate if you could at least try. There are many folk who would benefit from the recovery of this treasure. And now, unpaid debts.
Could I speak with you a moment?
The Blackwold brigands are on the run, no question about it. They're trying to regroup at camps throughout the Chetwood, but they suffered a real defeat at Archet. The brigands fled their old encampment up by Archet, carrying a large lockbox, which they brought to one of their smaller camps in the Chetwood northeast of Combe. If we can get our hands on that lockbox, its contents could be used to help those who lost property to the Blackwolds. There are a number of watchfires along the road, so you'll need to find the right one. These villains have a great many debts to repay, Beriathan. If you can return with a lockbox, the folk around here will be better for it. Perfect. Let's continue. A lot of things to do in Combe. And finally...
I'm sure it will do no good, but may I speak with you?
My old dad was the robber some years back and got his hands on a good deal of riches, as I heard. Constable caught him, but afore he was hanged, my dad told me where he buried his loot. I never needed it afore now, so I was content to let it stay buried, but I figure it's time to get my hands on wealth enough to keep you warm and shut, as my dear old dad called it. Can you take this pickaxe and dig the treasure up? Just take the road east from Combe to Constable Wren's post by the cart house. Climb over the hill on the right and walk down to the riverbank where the hanging tree grows. It'll have an X carved into it. You'll be helping me making a new start of things, and you'll have me everlasting thanks. We'll go talk to Constable Wren, but first, here it is, the crafting facility in Combe. So let's try and get this out of the way. Alright, here we go. Bill Brushwood.
What can I do for you?
You must be Beriathan. I have been awaiting your arrival, and I am very excited to see that our letter found you well. I am Jill Brushwood, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance. I am here to help you through the very first stages of learning a craft. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
What can I do for you?
My brother sent you, eh? As well he should. The business up in Archet is unfortunate, but it serves to remind us of the importance of a skilled craftsman. It will take a great deal of labor to rebuild Archet and supply the people of Brilland with everything they need to prosper. The Mistress of Apprentices, to my left, can help you choose a vocation in which to specialize. A vocation is a bundle of 3 crafting professions with overlapping skills. Choose your vocation with care because you will expend a great deal of time and energy improving your skill with the professions under its purview. Once the Mistress of Apprentices has welcomed you to your chosen vocation, be sure to speak with the provisioner within the craft hall. She can sell you the tools of your trade. Every profession has its own, so be not overshy with your coin purse. The novices will be happy to sell you any recipes you might wish to have, though I can tell you now that you will already know how to make a thing or two. Sorry for that. Equip the crafting tools you plan on using and find an appropriate facility. The craft hall has a forge, workbench, and oven available for your use, and even begin practicing your skills. You will advance in your chosen professions as you practice and seek out the teaching of others in the field. I hope you will welcome a skilled craftsman, Beriathan, and that it will bring profit to you and to the Brilland. So, Mistress of Apprentices. So let's see, I already have an armorer, 2 impact, an explorer, and an armsman. The only one that is gilded with max rep with Morgul Guild is Ithilgalad guild level is the explorer, but even then Another armorer or armsman seems redundant. So that leaves us with tinker, jeweler, prospector and cook, yeoman, cook, farmer and tailor, a woodsman, woodworker, forester and farmer, or scholar, historian, scholar, weaponsmith and farmer. And I am deciding between the tinker and the historian. As a tinker you can get all your jewelry, and maybe cooking if you buy the materials. And as a scholar, you can craft scrolls and goodies. I think I go with tinker.
How can I be of service?
The very first few levels of crafting you can play with that a bit. I'm gonna read a little bit more about tinkers and historians and see if this is indeed the right choice. So cooking is a noble pursuit. Where would we be without the knowledge of how to properly prepare the bounty of the land? I have secured the time and teaching of Esilia Diggerly, a novice cook, but a fine student who is quickly refining her art here in Combe to teach all the new cooks a thing or two about the profession. She can be found by the oven during the craft hall of Combe. Now, jewel crafting
Might I take a moment?
is a goal worth pursuing, and there are many fine jewelers in Combe. I have secured the time and teaching of Ted Rockworth, a novice jeweler, but a fine student who is quickly refining his art to teach all those who are looking to set out as jewelers. He can be found near the workbench in the craft hall of Combe. And prospecting
Might I take a moment?
is
of
the
your
collection
time?
and refinement of metals from the raw ore found throughout the world. Ore nodes also can hide gemstones and other objects that can be shared with other professions. Todd Brushwood, the supplier here, has offered to teach all those who are looking to set out as prospectors. So let's take care of this guy first.
What do you need?
Oh, oh, we're not gonna read all these quests, they're basically the same. We will open the crate. And we need to craft a copper ingot. Let's talk with the jeweler.
What can I do for you?
Once again, open the crate. We need to craft a copper ring. Jewelry, a copper ring. There it is. Oh god, I don't have the tools, but there they are. I will make the copper ring. Perfect.
Greetings.
Here's the forge. To create the copper ingot, we will move the track mine skill over here, and finally we need to look for the oven over here. Okay, speak with a novice cook,
A lovely day, isn't it?
and we'll need to craft a cup of spring barley flour. Here. Perfect. And then cook a hard biscuit over here. And now we can turn in all these quests and continue with our adventure
Greetings.
being a jeweler. So, Beriathan Handyman. What do we have here? Your talent as a tinker earned you a fitting title. Okay. Now let's track some mines. Ah, rich copper deposit. Yeah, we'll do that before talking to Constable Wren. And begin earning our crafting XP. What we have here, a regular one, so that can wait. Brimstone, that's for metalsmiths, and my metalsmith is already at master level, so I'll use for that one. Okay, Constable Wren.
Greetings.
Okay, I have heard that many of the Blackwolds brigands, after looting Archet, fled into the Chetwood. It seems that the Blackwolds leaders are angry. They feel that the raid might have been more successful if their followers had been less focused on filling their pockets and more on acting together. The main encampment is east down the road and then dipped into the northern woods. I suspect that many of the Blackwolds can be found within that camp. Mayhaps if you search in that area you might find Gallus' lost fishing pole. Very well.
Greetings.
Now, looking for a couple of wood, right, are you? I've heard something about a boy, but I can't say his mother is going to like it. He's joined up with the Blackwolds. He hadn't been in Combe for long when they took him either. He tried finding work around town, but he didn't have the stamina for hard labor. If you can talk to him, you might convince him to give up his new line of work, but I doubt it. I wager you'll find him east of Combe in the Chetwood. Just follow the path from the lumber camp, north and east. You are sure to come across a Blackwold camp or two up there. Now, I think the tree, the Hackman's tree, should be someplace over here. Not quite sure, but I think, yeah, it's here. The grove of trees has been cleared, so we need to find the one that has an X carved on it. If there is an X carved on those trees, I cannot see it. So let's just dig all the stumps. So nothing of value on either of these stumps. So we'll need to go back to Dead Pigthorn, but we'll do that later. Or maybe should we go now? Not sure if he will send you back the Chetwood. Let's do it this way. I mean, this part of the epic will have you going to the Chetwood so many times that I don't think there will be a difference if we leave Ted for later. Now here we are, the Combe lumber camp. Let's spend our trade point before I forget. Let's talk with Taylor Green.
What do you need?
Archet's woes did not escape us here in Combe, and it's good what they are is doing, no doubt in that. But the evil of the Blackwold has spread and now rests in the same wood where we need to collect the wood for Archet. I will see that we do what we can, but as you can see, we've troubles of our own.
Could
Yes,
I
that's
speak
true.
with you a moment?
Okay. Combe has always relied on this lumber camp for her livelihood, and now the people of Archet will be relying on us to supply the wood to rebuild our town, I expect. There is no shortage of work, that much is certain. We'll need to start taking down some of the trees of the northeast along the cliff, but there's a wolf den that way that endangers our workers. Could you deal with those wolves for me? It's not safe to chop down the trees near there, and I'm afraid we might lose some of our best loggers. Follow the cliff wall, you'll see the wolves or they'll see you. Quite reassuring.
I'm sure it will do no good, but
Okay.
may I speak with you?
So, this guy, Old Bauman, is gonna have us go back to his farm, and we are already going there, so sure. Have you heard that Archet gave them Blackwolds villains what for? He came out right out, they did, and good on them. If little Archet can manage it, I say Combe can do one better, and sweep them Blackwolds out of the Chetwood for good. Now, I lost my Sally's chain when them brigands took them over my farm. She's been gone for many a year, but that chain always did bring me comfort. One of them Blackwolds probably picked it up, and I want it back. Farms far to the east. Just follow the road past all them brigand campfires. What's that? No, it's a chain, not a necklace. What a quick question. And finally we have Oscar Burrows.
take a moment of your time?
My uncle Filbert and I were having tea and discussing the state of things in Brilliant about how the fucking archer showed the Blackwolds brigands a thing or two, when Uncle Filbert stood up and said, "Someone ought to do something about these villains. I'm going to give them a piece of my mind." And then he left without even finishing his tea. Up the road in the woods east of this camp, past the brigands' watchfires, there's some ruins where the Blackwolds are holed up. Uncle Filbert has probably gone there to have a word with them, though I don't think he will make the full journey. He's not as young as he once was. If he has, he has likely got himself into trouble. I'd gone up further to search for him, but could you go look for him and make sure he's alright? Alright. So, I know I said I was gonna be a little bit selective with the quest, but I think we can do them all. We have here, apart from really slow prospecting. Okay, so and let's check this copper deposit in here. And let's also double check what else we have in the quest log. I don't think we'll get the whetstone zone. Old Bowman's farm. Blackwold camps, and this one more Blackwolds camps, so quite condensed, I would say. Okay, here we go.
Just a moment.
Finally, someone respectable. I was beginning to think no one out there in the woods had any manners. I simply couldn't stand by any longer while the Blackwolds have their way in the Chetwood. I marched right in and told them just what I think of their sort. They laughed me right out of their camp. "Go back to Hobbiton, little boy," they said to me. "I've never been spoken like this. Never. I wanted to live. Something in that big ruin is just a bit off, I say." One ruffian called Sickleaf, he used to be a nice boy, took my handkerchief. "Could you bring it back to me?" He ran off to the ruins all the way to the east, between the Fighting Ruins to the north and the Skankwoods farm. So, yeah. At some point, we'll see. Okay, here we have. Did you really need to take all that detour? Okay, so defeated wolves at the wolf den, which is right here. So we're gonna pull a couple of these guys. I think, how many do we have here? 4. 3. Okay, 5 out of 8. We'll get the remaining ones here. So, careful there. Careful there. Alright. So that's all the wolves. We'll loot this corpse. Ah, very good things. So remember a few minutes ago I was telling you we were gonna rename the pet, and there was an in-game reason for that, well, I would like to play it as Beriathan being surrounded by wolves and then this little guy coming into his aid, and after that Beriathan decides, well, wolf's part of the family now, and he's more a wolf than a dog anyways. So we're gonna rename this guy Garolith. And let's see, did it work? Yes, it did! Garolith. Now, what does that mean? I would say is Sindar. My Sindar is not the best, so I'm not sure if it's grammatically correct, but I think it is. And if any of you out there knows what Garolith means and figures out why does he have that name, and that would be really fun. A little riddle to leave for you out there. And there we go. Don't need to keep on killing any more wolves, so we just need to collect a fishing pole, talk to Cobble Woodwright, go to Old Bowman's farm, collect some packs from Blackwolds camps. I think that's plenty of stuff to do for this episode. Okay, let's get all this. So now, Blackwold Sergeant. Obviously, Cosmetic Pets are not allowed to participate in combat, but that's what that story I wanted to create for Garolith, even if he is not gonna participate in any more combat. Now we have Brigand Slayer. And let's see if we find the letter we're looking for in this pack. Yes, we did. And what does it say? The tyranny of inaction needs silence you no longer. Cast aside the things that make you. Bring 3 white shirts, 2 pairs pants blue, and 200 copper burial money to Ellie Cutliffe in Combe. I remember Ellie Cutliffe. She's the one that will have us go all the way back and forth in Archet. No, from Combe to Chetwood, I mean. In any case, it's still quite tedious, as I remember it. So, I think this is the place where... ah yeah, there he is. Oval Woodwright.
What is this world coming
What's
to?
that? My mother sent you to find me. I don't care. I've never been good at anything in my life, but now I found something I can do and do right good. You're going to regret coming into Blackwold territory. The Chetwood will be your grave, stranger. So we will take care of Cobble Woodwright. You may have wandered around, but I will never abandon the Blackwolds. Alright. On to your mommy. Now tell me, mom, to leave me be. Let's see. The ruins of Brilliant, Blackwold headquarters. So this is the place I was looking. Collect the fishing pole. Okay. So I think there is another quest we'll get later on. Get inside this headquarters and take care of the boss, which is over there. If memory serves me right, we will get a quest to do that. In any case, so this is where Beriathan will recover his things, but I would prefer to roleplay that when we are sent inside the headquarters. Right now, let's continue towards Old Bowman's farm and Gilbert's handkerchief. Where's that? We'll need to wait and see. I think it's over there as well. In any case, when Beriathan takes care of the Blackwolds headquarters, he will recover his stuff. I know that the cell we were in for the tutorial instance is not accessible normally in-game afterwards, so we will roleplay that instead with the Blackwolds headquarters. And that's when Beriathan will recover his horse, his Citadel Guard uniform, his family sword. I can tell you about a little bit about the backstory I have created for Beriathan. I'm still going through the details. I'm still, deciding on some of the details, so I'm not ready to share all of it. But I can tell you a little bit about that. Just a sec. Let us get this. Let's get this for the time being. So basically, Beriathan left Minas Tirith towards the north, and well, he took the Greenway all the way up to Brilland. I had initially planned this as him being ambushed near the Vales of Andrath, which is this part over here where we also have a pretty big Blackwold concentration, and after he is ambushed, he is robbed from all his possessions. But after reading what it said on the wiki about the jailbreak instance taking place in Archit, the way in which I have considered giving Beriathan a backstory is very similar. I mean, he was still traversing the Greenway, and when he was near the Chetwood, he oversaw some brigands, and as I was saying, I'm still fine-tuning some of the details, but he might have heard something about Angmar, or he might have seen the Black Rider talking with the brigands, so he decided to stick around and remain hidden to investigate. But he got too near to the Black Rider, and that scared his horse, so his horse cried too high, too loud, and that's how he was discovered. So he was outnumbered, taken into the cell, the brigands took everything he had, and then, well, he was rescued by Strider. But what is a member of the Citadel Guard doing in Brilland to begin with? That's part of his backstory that I am still working on. I have two different versions written, and I'm not sure which one is the one that I like the most. So I'm still checking and deciding, and as soon as I have the backstory for Beriathan in full, I will share it with you. But right now it suffices to say that he was discovered by the Black Rider near the Chetwood and imprisoned. Black Rider, the Nazgul, obviously recognized the livery of Lendil and realized he was a member of the Citadel Guard. That's why he was taken prisoner, maybe questioned, but Beriathan wouldn't say anything. So this javelin is not as good as the one we have now, and this ring is certainly better than the one Mundo Sackville Baggins gave us on the first episode of the series, so we're gonna equip that one. Find one equip, I know, yes, okay. And we're also gonna take, I think we already have, yeah, we already have this letter, so we will read it in just a moment. Let's recover old Sally's chain and the valuables that are located here. Okay, so we have the Den Mother. Is this the place we're looking for? No. Old Bauman's farm. Here. Oh god, where is it? already have that chain? When did I get it? Oh my god. I didn't realize when I did. Sorry for that. But in any case, we'll still need to find the valuables near the farm. I think it's actually on that hill, rather. So let's go explore that one. And we still need to find Gilbert's handkerchief and some Blackwolds goodies. Yes, this is the farm, so... Oh, there is already somebody fighting those brigands. If you still need me in a moment, I might go help you, but I don't think you will need any help unless you are about to die. But I don't think he is. It seems burglars are on a pretty good spot right now. And yeah, he didn't need my help. But it seems the valuables I was looking for were... I mean, I need to kill some of those Blackwolds to get those goodies. And Posca's handkerchief is all the way to the Weather Hills basically, but we can now add this one, the Blackwold lockbox, which is not far from here, so we might go to get the lockbox while we wait for these brigands to respawn. And if they take longer than we want, we can also go to get the handkerchief. And here we are. We will kill this sergeant and get the lockbox. And this is where I first die with my very first tune, one captain. I pulled up a Blackwold signature and a couple extra mobs, and they basically wrecked me with my captain. So, good old memories from many years away. Let's read the letter in the meantime. Ah, we had already read it, sorry. Forgot. So let's get Bosco's handkerchief. Bosco's ankle. Filbert's handkerchief. And then we'll get back to the farm and collect the valuables, and afterwards we'll turn in all these quests. Right, I think somebody's gonna take us to... Another quest is gonna take us to the Blackwold headquarters, so we should be killing the boss on that area. So, according to the quest tracker, the handkerchief should be somewhere here, and I was already in that area. I had already come here. Why didn't I get the handkerchief? Does one of the brigands has it? Let's check. It seems that's the case. Oh my god, which one? Where's the handkerchief? Now somebody tell me where the handkerchief is supposed to be. What does it say? Cole Sickle Leaf is at the ruins. Where is he? There he is. So yeah, it seems the the burglar that we saw before might have already taken him. That's the only explanation that I can find for not finding this guy previously. In any case, he is already down. We have the handkerchief. We're only missing the valuables in Old Bowman's farm by taking care of the brigands there, I believe. Well, let's go check once again, and then make all earning the rest of the quests. Okay. We're about to get to level 10, and on one of our new titles. Okay, yeah, the supervisor is the one that has the valuables we were looking for. Okay, perfect, you have found and received. And what does it say? I thank you for your purchase and hope you will find the strong boxes useful for storing any minor valuables, including things of great fragility. I guarantee the lock on each strong box will remain secure against even the most dedicated of thieves. If you have any other locksmithing needs, be sure to let me know. Rurik. That name does ring a bell, although I'm not exactly sure from where. But it seems like a dwarven name, right? Maybe a man from Brilland that also has that name, but it seems to me more dwarven than anything. So we'll turn all these quests and we'll call it a night after this. Just run all the way back to the Combe lumberyard. We are pulling every single mob we come across, but it should be okay. There's the lumberyard over the distance. Here we have more players grouping and taking care of spiders. Oh god, we passed by Filbert, I'm sorry.
Just a moment.
You, at least, have some decency. I thank you very much for returning my handkerchief and bid you a good day, as civilized folk are wont to do. I'm going to stay here and keep an eye on these impolite troublemakers. Maybe it's the Turkish blood I get from my mother's side of the family, but I'll take more than insults to send me back to town unsatisfied. Perhaps my presence here will remind these ruffians what it means to live in Brilland. If you can tell my nephew Pascal that I'm fine, I appreciate it. Good day. Alright, so let's go talk to Bosco and everybody else. So here, the free content and expansion cell that I was telling you about in the previous episode is making a good impression on a lot of players, as it should, because I don't think there's been an announcement like this ever since free-to-play was initially launched on 2010. So hopefully this means an improvement on business for SSG, so we can get also improvements on the game. It's good to hear that Uncle Filbert is alright. He always says that I'll develop good habit sense when I get older, but if he's an example, I'm not sure I will. Thank you for looking in on him, Beriathan. We'll get Atlas. Now here.
What can I do for you?
You took care of the wolves. That will make harvesting the trees by that then much safer. Rebuilding the burned buildings in Archet will require more wood than we have, and that's only one village. I don't think the Blackwolds have the numbers to try anything funny around Combe, but they're still startled. Too many raids and we'll need to cut down the whole chatwood to make the repairs. There we go. Level 10. And a whole lot more skills. So let's check. Commendations, Instance Finder, Monster Play, Item Wear and Defeat. What do we have in here? So, the pet leggings that we need to equip later. A new title, The Undefeated, Epic Battles Away. We have now Ambush, Critical Strike, and Recovery and Quick Recovery. The passive skill Journeyman, and 5 LOTRO points. Why? Epic Battles did, it seems. Big Battle awaits, yeah, 5 LOTRO points. Now, The Undefeated. Level 10 without being defeated in battle. And the male Epic Battles awaits. Well, we will get to Epic Battles with the Rohan Epics. But we are not gonna do any Epic Battles before them. But in any case, here's the letter that Erkenbrand has sent. Well, not Erkenbrand himself, but one of his men. Now, we talk here with Old Bowman.
Woe to me.
You found my Sally's chain and showed those Blackwolds villains as they were too, I don't doubt it. A lifetime of thanks, Beriathan. Sally was a good hound. We'd go hunting in the fall and she could sniff out a county from what seemed near a mile. It's good to have her chain back, it's all I've got left right now. Take these coins for your trouble, Beriathan, with my thanks. So we're gonna get agility, food, and vitality. Better for us. And we have new skirmishes available. Basically, the epic battles that we're not gonna do yet. We will equip these leggings that we got. Oh my god, they look awful. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Let me tell you, getting to the Blackwolds headquarters is not gonna come soon enough with these trousers. Anyway, as I was saying, we will turn in all the quests. Because this is not the last we see of the Chetwood. But that's a matter for another episode. We are near the end of this one. So, let's see. What do we have here? Offer deposit and rich offer deposit. Let's get this too before talking to Constable Wren, especially this one. Okay, so with this we can make olive and Rivendell green dyes. That's something a scholar can do that I didn't remember about, and making dyes can be cool. I don't know, maybe I will need to rethink my crafting profession. I will think about it. Okay,
What
so
can
now,
I do for you?
you fought with Cobble Woodwright, but he escaped. Well, his sword will not be able to play forever. I feel the time of the Blackwold brigands is coming to an end. It seems I was right, and he will never give up his lawlessness. His mother will not be pleased to hear it. Any mother, in fact. So how many quests? Well, we need to talk to Constable Underhill to turn in this one. And well, all these ones. Catch Paul. He's in Combe. Oh. Let's continue. There she is. Or he is? Don't remember. But anyway.
Can't you
What?
leave me to my
They-
misery?
They chopped down the hanging tree and you dug at all the trees with an axe? This is terrible. How will I ever find me that spirit treasure now?
I'm sorry to trouble you, but will you help me?
Maybe the woodcutters at the lumber camp up east of here remember which tree was the hanging tree. Beriathan, you've got to have a word with Mason Thorne, the man in charge there. He just has to remember which of the stumps used to be the hanging tree. He just has to. The lumber camp is along the road north of the big house. Please, I need that money to make a new start for myself. Okay, so as you see, a lot of back and forth. But first, Constable Sageford.
What do you need?
What is this? Rurik. There's a Rurik Fennel living here in Combe. He is a locksmith. But why would he be aiding the Blackwolds, Beriathan? Rurik's house is southwest of here, just behind the Comb and Wattle. You had best have a talk with Rurik. I will be very interested to know why he's been locking boxes for the Blackwolds. Very interested indeed. So we're gonna get a new cloak.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Rurik is a locksmith here in Combe. You should show him that receipt and ask him why the brigands appear to be common patrons of his. It seems odd that Rurik would be involved. He's a quiet man who keeps to himself mostly. Still, we need to investigate every lead carefully. You should find him outside his home on the road that runs south past the Comb and Wattle Inn. Not a dwarf, but a man from Brilliant, so close
What can I
enough.
do for you?
Ah, you have returned with the brigand's lockbox. Now let me see what's inside, and we can sell the valuables to support the survivors of the Blackwold raids throughout the area. Locked. I should have guessed as much. Well, until we can find the key, we won't have any luck with this. There seem to be some initials carved in the lock. RF. Most unusual. So let's get some vitality.
Could I speak with you a moment?
I was talking to one of the other constables shortly before you returned, and it seems that he learned that some of the Blackwolds were keeping even more valuables in their main camp in the ruins of northern Chetwood. With any luck, you might find a strongbox that's not locked. It's worth trying anyway. There are so many people who need money to rebuild, and who better to take it from than the ones that stole in the first place. Oh, right. Oh yes, a lot of things to talk about with this Rurik panel. Here.
It's a sorry day.
What? Cobble has joined us villains in truth? I refuse to believe it. He's a good boy even if he has a temper. He's a woodwright through and through and would never do such a thing. You shouldn't say such horrible things to an old woman. What am I saying? I knew the boy had landed himself in a spot of trouble. Thank you. Thank you at the least for finding him. Very well. Now, Gale.
Greetings.
You found it. Oh, thank you, thank you. I've been thinking that ball should be given to the waters of my dad's favorite fishing hole, the pond near the Hunter's Lodge in Archet. I think you'd like that. Thank you and thank you again. And she's not gonna make me go back to Archet. Thanks a lot. Now,
Stay a moment.
okay. To Citadel. Now that the people of Archet have stood up against the Blackwolds brigands and we got them on the run here, the tides are turning, things are returning to normal, and I say it's time I did my part. I used to send honey down to Citadel in trade for pipeweed, a business I'm ready to pick up again. My old trading partner, a hobbit by the name of Lola Wendingway, used to peddle wares on the road between here and Citadel to the south. When the Blackwolds came, I'll wager he holed up down here. If you happen to be in Citadel and see Lolo, please let him know I would like to renew our partnership. We'll certainly do so. So, we're only missing talking to Constable Underhill, it seems, to finish for today. And then, well, more treasure. Where's that one? All the way north, in the Blackwold headquarters, you see. We're gonna back there.
Hello there.
Hello, what's this? Ellie Cutcliffe. Well, I should have guessed. She's smart and disreputable by all accounts, and she's just the sort who might lead us to the Blackwold agent. She won't lead you to some dear fellow, I don't think, but it's a start. We must gain access to the leader somehow. He'll have the answers we seek. None of this is good enough, but maybe the might one? I don't know.
Might I speak with you a moment?
Now, here's an idea. Ellie is looking for new blood, so why not help her out? You could mask yourself as a ruffian and another to join the Blackwolds, and offer to join the Blackwolds. Gain her confidence and we might find out where the Blackwold leaders are hiding. Of course, it would be dangerous. Do you think you're up to the task? Ellie's house is in the northwest corner of town by the pond. There are some large cages nearby. She breeds dogs, I think. Go on, speak with her, and remember, you're a brigand. Okay, so this seems like a wrap for today's episode. So on next episode we'll continue cleaning the Chetwood of brigands. Beriathan most likely will get his equipment back, his uniform, his horse, his weapons, and that will be great. But that's all for today. So once again, thank you for watching, and Garliv is saying goodbye as well. And thank you for sticking around. Please consider subscribing if you like what you see here. Remember to leave a comment with what you'd like to see next and what suggestions and comments you might have. And see you on the next episode. Take care.